gas and pepper spray failed to deter Occupy Central protesters. Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying calls for calm and says Beijing won't give in. And volcano eruption in Japan claims dozens of lives. Good evening. Tensions remain high tonight as sides in the political reform debate refuse to back down. Many Occupy Central protesters are still blocking roads in Admiralty, Wan Chai and Central, even though police have used tear gas to try to disperse the crowds. Meanwhile, the Federation of Students is now urging supporters to leave amid rumors that the police fired rubber bullets at the demonstrators. At around 6 p.m., the police fired its first round of tear gas. Protesters ran for cover. Some fell onto the ground. However, the protesters refused to be defeated. Shortly after, police were seen holding signs threatening to open fire if the demonstrators didn't disperse. At around 7 p.m., armed police arrived at the scene. Throughout the night, more and more protesters arrived at Admiralty, Wan Chai and Central to join the movement. The authorities, meanwhile, fired another several rounds of tear gas. But the protesters stayed put.
Anything could happen. You have to prepare for the worst.
I think this will still be a peaceful protest, except the police do something against us.
Yet there were those who support the police.
I think the police are doing a really hard job also. I actually don't like insulting them myself. They also have their own thing to do, and I'm really out here to do this the peaceful way.
At around 11, the protest organizers called on their supporters to leave.
We received a message that the police has used bullets to suppress the occupying movement. And so that we think in this very critical moment, which will harm the bodies of the participants, we as an organization preparing for this movement at the very beginning, we think that we have a responsibility to tell the participant this very fact, and that they decided on themselves.
It is a matter of life and death, and we put personal safety as priorities. And so if the government, the police, uses lethal weapons, including bullet, I'm talking about rubber bullet, then I believe that demonstrators should retreat and then find other opportunities to resist the government.
They called on their supporters to continue class and work boycotts to show their support. Our Joel da Silva is standing by at the scene in Admiralty. Joel, what's happening there?
Hi, Evelina. Tension is once again on the rise here after police restarted firing tear gas at unarmed protesters, interrupting a few hours of relative calm since clashes this afternoon. The move seems to have achieved the goal of pushing protesters eastwards on Harcourt Road towards Admiralty, and there are unconfirmed reports that police might move to clear the area tonight. The Hong Kong Federation of Students has warned people to leave as police may use a rubber bullet. That doesn't seem to be happening here at the moment. It is hard to say what will happen next, but with anger on the rise among protesters and riot police geared up with their masks, it would appear that there's more clashes to come soon. That's all from me. Back to you in the studio, Evelina.
Thank you, Joel. Now, Occupy Central protesters are also gathering in Mong Kok and Causeway Bay. Now, in a news conference prior to actions taken by police, Chief Executive Leung stressed that the government will be resolute in opposing the unlawful occupation. And the central government's liaison office in Hong Kong has tonight condemned the civil disobedience movement. Dan To has more.
Leung Chun-ying stressed this afternoon that Beijing will not give in to threats and unlawful acts by Hong Kong people. And he pointed